There is a moment in deep-sea biology, a specific, documented, verified moment that I need to tell you about before anything else. In 2007, off the coast of Grand Cayman Island, a small fish floated to the surface. It was dead. It was approximately 19 centimeters long, and its stomach had burst open. Not from disease, not from parasites, not from any external force, from the inside. Because inside that 19-centimeter fish, inside the stomach of something smaller than most TV remotes, was a snake mackerel, 86 centimeters long, 4 times the body length of the fish that had swallowed it. The snake mackerel had been whole when swallowed. The digestion process had begun. Gases from decomposition had built up inside the stomach cavity faster than the digestion could complete, and the stomach stretched so far beyond its anatomical limits that no tissue could hold had simply given up. The fish had eaten something so large that the attempt to digest it had killed it. This is not a story about a predator at the top of its game. This is a story about a predator that looked at a fish 4 times its own size and made a decision that ended badly. And the remarkable thing, the genuinely extraordinary thing, is that this is not a failure of the black swallower's design. It is an edge case in a system that, the vast majority of the time, works perfectly. A fish the size of your hand that routinely, successfully, repeatedly, as a fundamental survival strategy swallows fish 10 times its own size, and occasionally, when it miscalculates, explodes. The black swallower, Chiasmodon niger. Chiasmodon niger was formally described in 1864 by American ichthyologist James Carson Brevoort. Brevoort was working from a specimen collected in the Atlantic, likely trawled from mesopelagic depth, somewhere between 700 and 2,745 meters, which represents the known range of this species. He identified it as a new genus, gave it the name Chiasmodon, meaning with crossed teeth, referring to the distinctive interlocking tooth arrangement in its jaws, and noted its dark coloration. What Brevoort could not fully assess from a trawled specimen compressed, emptied of stomach contents by the pressure change during retrieval, was the stomach. The stomach of the black swallower is the central fact of this animal. Everything else, the teeth, the jaw structure, the hunting behavior, exists in service of what the stomach can do. And the stomach, in a dead, pressure-damaged trawl specimen from 1864, looked unremarkable, collapsed, small, a standard digestive cavity. It took decades of additional specimen collection and, crucially, specimens that arrived at the surface with their stomachs intact and contents still inside before the picture became clear. Some of those specimens were intact because they had floated up on their own, dead, stomach distended beyond recognition, prey still partially visible inside. The black swallower has a pattern of appearing at the surface dead, stomach burst. Identity of the swallowed prey still partially intact and identifiable, that gave early 20th century marine biologists their clearest window into what this fish actually did for a living. They were reading the evidence of the black swallower's meals from the fish's own post-mortem remains. The stomach told the story every time, and the story was always the same. It tried to swallow something enormous. Sometimes it succeeded. Sometimes the attempt killed it. Either way, it tried. Let me describe the black swallow at rest before it has eaten anything remarkable. Adult body length, approximately 25 centimeters maximum. Most adults are smaller. 10 to 20 centimeters is the more common range. Body shape, elongated, slightly compressed. Matte black to dark brown, large eyes for the depth at which it operates. A jaw with those interlocking teeth curved, pointing inward, designed to grip rather than cut. In its resting state stomach, empty, the black swallow looks like a small, unremarkable deep water fish. Nothing about its external appearance suggests what it is about to do when it encounters prey. Then it encounters prey. The stomach of the black swallower is, relative to body size, the most expandable stomach of any fish currently documented in scientific literature. In its empty state, it sits compact, folded, small, tucked beneath the fish's body cavity in a space that seems entirely inadequate for what it is about to become. When the black swallower swallows prey, and it swallows prey whole, always, the entire animal in one continuous process, the stomach begins expanding, unfolding, stretching. The tissue is highly elastic in a way that is genuinely unusual even among deep-sea fish, which generally have more expandable digestive systems than shallow water species due to the feast-or-famine nature of deep ocean food availability. The black swallower's stomach does not simply expand. It becomes a separate, external, visible structure. When fully distended with large prey, a fish half the body length of the swallower, or longer the stomach bulges visibly outside the body cavity, pressing outward against the skin of the abdomen, creating a visible grotesque protrusion that in some documented specimens makes the swallowed prey's outline visible through the stretched stomach wall. You can see the shape of what it swallowed, through the skin, from the outside. The stomach expands to accommodate prey items that by any reasonable anatomical measure should not fit inside a fish of this size, and it does this routinely, not occasionally, not as an extraordinary feat. As standard operating procedure, the mechanism of how the black swallower actually gets a fish larger than itself into its stomach deserves careful explanation, because it is not what most people assume. It does not dislocate its jaw. It does not have the extreme jaw expansion of, say, the gulper eel. The black swallower's jaw is functional and moderately sized. The remarkable feature is the teeth, which curve inward and interlock when the jaw closes, creating a grip that is extremely difficult for prey to break. The swallowing process is progressive. The black swallow approaches prey, typically another fish, and bites onto the tail end. The inward curving teeth grip the tail and do not release. Then the black swallow begins walking its jaws forward. This is the mechanism. Alternating jaw movements, each side advancing slightly, that inch the prey progressively further into the mouth and throat. Not a single engulfing motion. A slow, deliberate forward progression of the prey item through the jaws and into the esophagus. The prey is alive during much of this process in documented cases. It cannot pull backward effectively. The inward teeth prevent that. It cannot move forward on its own. The swallower's body is too small to allow the prey to pass quickly. It is simply slowly walked into the stomach. The esophagus of the black swallower is also highly expandable, distensible enough to allow prey with a body diameter significantly larger than the swallower's own throat to pass through with sufficient time and pressure. This process can take a considerable amount of time for large prey items. The fish must be still enough, or weakened enough, for the progressive jaw walking to continue without the prey's struggling, causing the black swallower to release its grip. When the prey finally clears the esophagus and enters the stomach begins its expansion, and the black swallowing, now carrying something that may weigh more than itself, that may be longer than itself, that is creating a visible bulge outside its body cavity, returns to the deep water column to digest. The 2007 Grand Cayman specimen is the most cited case, but it is not the only one. There are multiple documented instances of black swallowers washing up at the surface dead, stomach ruptured with prey inside at various stages of digestion. These specimens have been collected, examined, and published in peer-reviewed literature. They are not anecdotes. They are physical evidence. In each case, the story is readable from the remains. The black swallower made a decision to attempt a prey item that exceeded the safe limit of what its digestive system could process in time. The mechanics of why this kills the fish are specific. When the black swallower swallows a large prey item, digestion begins immediately. Stomach acids start breaking down the prey from the outside in. This is normal. This is the system working as designed. But digestion of a large vertebrate prey item produces gas. Decomposition gases, primarily carbon dioxide, methane, hydrogen sulfide, are a byproduct of the breakdown of organic tissue by digestive chemistry. When the prey item is small enough, digestion completes before gas buildup becomes structurally significant. The gases are absorbed, expelled, managed. When the prey item is too large, when the ratio of prey mass to the swallower's digestive rate exceeds a certain threshold, gas builds up faster than the digestion can process it. The stomach, already stretched to its anatomical limit by the size of the prey, now faces additional internal pressure from gas accumulation, and the stomach wall, which has no remaining elasticity because it is already fully extended, cannot accommodate that additional pressure. The result is exactly what happened in Grand Cayman in 2007. The fish floats to the surface because the gas makes it buoyant. The ascent through decreasing pressure accelerates the gas expansion, and at some point at depth, or during ascent, or at the surface, the stomach wall fails. A 19-centimeter fish, an 86-centimeter snake mackerel inside it, a system pushed past its limit by a decision that, from the outside, looks like pure overconfidence. The obvious question, the one that every account of the black swallower eventually arrives at, is why? Why evolve a strategy this dangerous? Why attempt prey items that can literally kill you from the inside? The answer is the deep ocean itself. Between 700 and 2,700 meters depth, the range where the black swallower lives, food is not abundant. It is not reliably available. It does not arrive on a schedule. Deep ocean predators face a fundamental metabolic challenge. They must be capable of extended periods of low activity to conserve energy during food-scarce intervals. But when food appears when the opportunity presents itself, they must extract maximum caloric value from that opportunity. Because there is no guarantee when the next one will come. The black swallower's strategy is a direct response to this reality. A small prey item proportional to the swallower's own body size provides a modest caloric return. It sustains the fish for a limited time. If food scarcity follows, that modest return may not be enough. A prey item 10 times the swallower's body mass, if successfully digested, provides a caloric surplus so substantial that the fish can sustain itself through a prolonged food-scarce period. It is, metabolically, a single successful hunt that functions as weeks of normal feeding. The risk of rupture is real. The cases are documented. But in the cold mathematics of deep ocean survival, a strategy that succeeds often enough to sustain the population, even at the cost of individual fish who miscalculate the limit of their own capacity, is a strategy that works. The black swallow did not evolve recklessness, it evolved maximum extraction, and the occasional explosion is the price of operating at the edge of the possible. I have spent time with a lot of deep-sea biology, and the animals that stay with me are the ones I keep returning to, are not always the most dramatic or the most visually striking. Sometimes it is the ones whose existence answers a question so cleanly that you cannot argue with it. The black swallower answers a question about resource economics in one of the most resource-scarce environments on the planet. How do you survive in a place where food is rare, unpredictable, and worth risking everything for? You build a stomach that can hold 10 times what your body should be able to contain. You develop teeth that do not release. You learn to walk your jaws forward over prey larger than yourself. And you accept somewhere in the deep logic of evolutionary design that occasionally, the meal you chose will be the meal that kills you. Not as a flaw, as an acceptable outcome in a system optimized for a specific environment. The deep ocean is full of animals that took ordinary biological systems and pushed them past what seemed like their limits. The black swallower pushed its stomach past every limit anyone would have predicted. And most of the time in the cold, dark water where no one is watching, it works exactly as intended. The 2007 Grand Cayman specimen is preserved. The measurements are in the published literature. 19 centimeter fish, 86 centimeter prey. Stomach ruptured from internal gas pressure during digestion. Chiasmodon niger, the black swallower. Named in 1864 by a scientist examining a collapsed, emptied specimen who could not yet know what that stomach was capable of doing when full. It took another 140 years of accumulated evidence, specimens floating to the surface with visible prey outlines through their stomach walls. Cases of successful digestion of fish 10 times the swallower's mass, and the occasional, documented, inescapable case of a miscalculation to build the complete picture. A 25 centimeter fish, operating at depths of up to 2,700 meters, with a stomach that becomes a visible external structure when full, slowly walking its jaws forward over prey it has no business attempting. Right now, in water beneath every ocean on this planet, making decisions that occasionally kill it, but more often, far more often, work exactly as designed. If this is the kind of content that made you forget what else you were supposed to be doing today, subscribe. Every video on this channel is exactly this. Real animals, documented science, things that sound impossible until the evidence is in front of you, and then sound even more impossible. All of them out there right now, in the dark, doing exactly what they evolved to do.